Mr. Secretary, thanks so much for joining the program.
It's great to be with you. Good morning, indeed. A very good morning.
So it is a good morning because it is not just Israel that is their enemy. It's the United States. And it looks like they did not take the olive branch from our commander-in-chief, Donald Trump, when he said that you could have a peaceful, prosperous country, but you just can't have uranium. You can't have a nuclear weapon. And so it looks like Israel has finally responded. What do you make of it all?
Lawrence, the Iranian leadership has had not only the last 3 months with serious negotiation efforts underway, but they've had the last decade to turn the other direction, to stop their nuclear weapons program, to stop building out their ballistic missile systems. And they've continued to do what I've said the Iranians have been desirous of doing for so long, which is to wipe Israel off the face of the earth and put America right behind it. And it just got too close. It was too much. The moment was here. There was literally zero evidence that the negotiations were going to lead to a good outcome. And I think the Israeli leadership finally decided not only did they have the moment to do this, but they had the tools and resources to effectively obliterate much of the Iranian regime's military programs. I think they began that overnight. My guess is it's going to take days, if not weeks, to complete this task. But the world is safer this morning than it was when we all went to bed last night. And the Iranian people are now given a real opportunity to have a set of leaders in their country that doesn't make its primary foreign policy objective anti-Semitic, anti-Zionist, anti-Israel, and they join the Western world.
You know, Mr. Secretary, I was talking to our colleague, Brian Kilmeade, and he was going back and forth with me. He said, with this strike, with Iran under attack, it helps Ukraine and hurts Russia. They provide the bulk of Russia's drones. He also said that Israel also hurts Russia, who lost Syria because Israel took out their oppressors, Hezbollah. Is he right on this?
Lawrence, there's no doubt about that. The Russians have been supplied with the Shahed drones from the Iranians. I doubt that there's very many shipments leaving the port in Iran this morning. You should note those countries that have sided with Iran, the Chinese Communist Party and the Russians, are real losers this morning. Once again demonstrated that these old Russian systems, these old models of leadership don't work against Western power. We saw the deterioration in the Iranian leadership overnight. I'll bet that continues. We saw what happened to Russian leadership in this same way. We now live in a world where great powers are challenging the fundamental ideas of human dignity, basic property rights, and last night was a step in the right direction. I hope not only will the United States continue to stand with our friends in Israel, but the Europeans, the Indians, our friends in Asia will all come to see that you want to be on the right side of this, and the right side is the one that had such successes overnight as a tactical and operational matter. Now we need to turn it into peace and prosperity for the entire world.
You know, even though the president chose peace and tried to negotiate with the Iranians, it cannot be skipped over that there were assassination attempts against him, as well as you, Mr. Secretary, and other cabinet officials in the past administration, right?
Yes, the threat against me and my family and against the president and others remains. I hope that threat is reduced as a result of this. They can see that this is not the path towards good outcomes for the Iranian people. But even more importantly, that we know that there were hundreds and hundreds of American lives taken by this very Iranian regime, and they didn't give a whip stitch about any of that. You know, what President Trump did during his first term, moving the U.S. Embassy to Jerusalem, acknowledging the Golan Heights as the rightful property of Israel, the rightful land of Israel, taking the strike against their then IRGC head, which they've done again overnight, I think demonstrated Western resolve in a way that the world should be very proud of. And I think Israel was up against it. This was the go time, and I hope they stay in this. They need to continue this until they complete the effort to diminish Iran's nuclear program in a way that we get a decade or two of respite. I don't think the Ayatollah is going to change his ways. We can certainly take away his capabilities to put that threat on Israel and the world.
Well, it's a radical Islamic ideology. It would be, for him to deny this would be his very existence. And I think that's the conflict that we're up against. Mike Pompeo, thank you, Mr. Secretary, for your time this morning.
Lawrence, thank you. Have a good morning.
You too.